Hello and welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. Today I'm going to be showing you how to query our database, the viral ligand solvent exposed moiety database, or V-LiSEMOD for short. As always, I am Joe, and if this is your first time here, or if you're just looking at a refresher, welcome back. Here we're going to be talking about this button and what it means to query based on the proteins. So in this case, you always have to select your virus. We have HIV, we have HPV, various strands of it, and we currently have SARS-CoV-2. We are going to, in this case, look at HIV-1. And so we have various options that you can pre-select from. You can pre-select protease, and when you pre-select options, more filters come down. You can pre-filter or pre-select, you can choose reverse transcriptase. And what these do is it then shows ligands that would be found either in protease or in reverse transcriptase if you're interested in very specific ones. So we'll start with that. So we'll choose protease, and we've already talked about previously atazanavir or DR7. So you can always choose the drug name, or if you know the 3-letter code from the PDB, you can always choose that. And what that does is it then filters down to the structures that actually contain HIV-1, a protease, and our drug choice. We can then, in this case, select them. And what's nice is you can choose more than one. So you can choose multiple if you wanted. So in this case, we can go ahead and choose one more, 3-ox. And then you choose the data sets that you're interested in. So if you're interested in the solvent exposed atoms, the ligand atom data, the binding pocket, the smiles and functional group data, the interatomic interaction data, the functional group atoms, and how smiles and PDB atoms were mapped, you can obtain all of that information for each of the files that you select. You then just choose export data, and what you end up receiving when you select that option is you actually receive each of these files individually in a zip. In addition to that zip, though, you also receive open. In addition, you also receive them together as a combined data Excel. So I'm going to open that, but just know that you would always receive each of the individual CSV files, just in case you're interested in using the data for any coding or any further analyses and you wanted to look at them individually. So this is the data for each of the solvent exposed atoms that we had selected. You have an exact atom, an atom ID, and the exact solvent exposed area for that specific molecule, that specific atom. So all of the data is here in the downloads and can be analyzed, it can be scrutinized, it can be looked at, and all of this data is useful for informing on additional tools that we have. Whether you're using the PROTAC builder or if you're using the docking pipeline, our tools that we create are designed for further analysis. We have outputs that are specific for tools such as P-Rosetta-C that can be useful for if you're doing PROTAC development, or we have pipelines for Autodoc if you're interested in looking at potential modifications and how they could fit into the same binding pocket. So all of these tools can be accessed for everybody that can use the database. So if you haven't already, definitely check out the main page functionalities, or check out the Ligand query data sets and functionalities that you can do over on that other page. Thank you, and as always, have a great day.